100 years ago today.
May 28th, 1925. Reflections of Dorothy Dix. Dear Dorothy Dix, should I marry just because everyone tells me what an affliction it is to be an old maid? I don't care to marry, but the everlasting slurs thrown at old maids are getting on my nerves. I have a chance to marry a man whom I do not love, but who would save me from being an old maid. I await your reply. Susie. Answer. My dear Susie, I did not know there was anybody left in the world so behind the times that she thought it was any reflection on a woman to be an old maid. In olden times, when marriage was the only reputable business in which a woman could engage, and wifehood the only career that offered any reward, women had to marry, whether they wanted to or not. Otherwise, they were compelled to eat the bitter bread of dependence and occupy the back seat. Then, when it was obvious that every woman would marry if she possibly could, to be an old maid was to advertise the fact that a woman lacked all personal charms. So it was no wonder that she was looked upon as more or less of a failure and became the Gibbs of fools. Also, because she had no life of her own, no interests of her own, no work, no occupation on which she could spend her energies and employ her brain, the old maid naturally became a pest. Because she had nothing to love, the milk of human kindness soured in her. Because she was dependent, she became bitter and envious. Because she had no pie of her own, she stuck her fingers in other people's pies. Because she had no interests of her own, she pried into the affairs of others. So she became what circumstances made her: gossiping, curious, meddling, bitter, and was disliked and feared accordingly. But now we have changed all that. Every avenue of human endeavour is open to women. They can do whatever they want to, just as much as men can. They can make money, indulge their own tastes, set up their own homes, amuse themselves, and the unmarried woman is happy and prosperous and contented. She is no longer a sinister figure in the community. She is the good angel in it. Nobody slurs at old maids these days. They are envied. If a woman finds a worthy man she loves, she does well to marry, for married happiness is the nearest approach to heaven we ever get on earth. But to marry to escape being an old maid is the height of folly, and is sure to precipitate disaster upon you. Don't be silly enough to do such an idiotic thing. Just tell those who twit you on being an old maid that it is better not to be married than not to be glad because you are married, and that they are envious because they don't stand in your shoes. Dorothy Dix. Subscribe for more history.